All right, well, welcome to my new series of quilt block tutorials. We're going to start with the basics today. First thing, the standard things about all of my tutorials. As a general rule, my measurements are exact. I generally don't write my patterns to have you make something and then trim it down. There's a few exceptions, and I'll tell you when those exceptions are. I also have a very distinct dislike of sewing unsupported bias seams because that can cause stretch. Therefore, instead of having you cut triangles and sew triangles together, I'm going to have you cut squares and sew along a diagonal on a square and then cut them apart, and then you get two of the item. And a standard practice of all quilt writers, not just me, but all quilt writers, is to give dimensions in finished sizes. Finished means that's what you're going to see after you sew it into your project. Finished size does not include your 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. So if I say something is a 6-inch half square triangle, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see 6 inches after it's going to be sewn in. Before it's going to be sewn in, you've got to add that 1/4 inch all the way around. So it'll actually be 6.5 inches. You sew it in, that becomes a 6-inch. So we use finished sizes. Very rarely, there are some blocks where the math has you use unfinished sizes. Again, if I ever tell you the math uses unfinished sizes, I will be very specific and tell you that. So let's start off today with half square triangles. We're just going to make half square triangles. In fact, we're going to make 2 half square triangles. Half square triangles, basic math for half square triangles. If you take the finished size, in this case, I do want to make 6-inch half square triangles. You take the finished size, add 7/8 of an inch. So this is a 6-inch finished. So I need to cut a square each of 2 fabrics that are 6 and 7/8 inch. So it's the finished size plus 7/8 inch. Cut 1 square of each of 2 fabrics from that. So here are my 2 squares. I have a square of white and a square of brown that are 6 and 7/8 inches square. This will make me 2 6-inch half square triangles. Now take one of those squares, probably the light one just so the pen shows up better, and draw a single diagonal line on the back of that square. Now you're going to stack your 2 squares up, right sides of the fabric together, and the line that you just drew needs to be on the top so you can see it. You're now going to sew a seam 1/4 inch on either side of that diagonal line that you just drew. Now go back over to your cutting mat and cut along that line between your 2 seams. Open up your 2 new half square triangles. Press the seam allowances to one side. Usually you press to the dark fabric, and trim the dog ears off. All right, well, I hope you found this half square triangle tutorial easy. I think it should be. You make 2 half square triangles out of 2 squares of fabric. Again, the measurements are 7/8 of an inch bigger than your finished desired size. So here we go. There's our 2 half square triangles. Thanks for watching. Join me again. I will have another tutorial up very soon. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out the website charmedneedles.com, and we'll see you next time.